Clinical development is the multi-billion-dollar gauntlet every biotech must run. What if your biggest risk isn't the science, but a protocol disconnected from reality? Without real-world evidence, protocols are 2.3 times more likely to need costly changes. These amendments aren't inconvenient. They represent millions in lost capital and months of delay. This is where clinical trials break. But a powerful new approach is changing this paradigm. Real-world evidence is not a buzzword. It's a strategic imperative for optimization. In the next few minutes, we'll break down exactly how real-world evidence de-risks development, accelerates timelines, and reshapes biotech strategy from discovery to approval. So how does fixing protocol design translate to the bottom line? The impact is staggering. Studies show real-world evidence integration can significantly slash clinical trial costs, generating substantial overall savings for drug development programs. It also means more efficient trials. By integrating real-world evidence into analyses, required sample sizes can decrease, meaning faster recruitment and lower operational burden. The result? Faster market entry. Real-world evidence has already supported multiple FDA approvals, especially in high-need areas like oncology and rare diseases. So the value proposition is clear. Real-world evidence makes clinical development cheaper, more efficient, and faster. But how does it actually achieve this? To answer that, let's move beyond the what and into the why. How does real-world evidence fundamentally reshape trial design and execution? It starts with the protocol. Before enrollment, real-world evidence lets you test inclusion and exclusion criteria against real patient data, helping you target more accurately. But real-world evidence enables a more radical shift. For rare diseases, how can you gather control data? What if you could build a control arm entirely from existing information? Beyond design, real-world evidence revolutionizes recruitment. You can use real-world data to pinpoint geographic hotspots of eligible populations. Fundamentally, real-world evidence captures the messy reality of patient lives, diverse backgrounds, comorbidities, and adherence issues. This patient understanding also allows for prediction. By analyzing past data, you can identify likely dropout scenarios and build proactive retention strategies from the start. Theory is powerful, but proof is what matters. Where has real-world evidence already made a definitive impact? The landmark example is Pfizer's Ibrance. In 2019, it gained FDA approval for male breast cancer, a rare but serious condition. This was not based on a new trial. It was based entirely on an analysis of real-world data from electronic health records and observational studies. This sent a clear signal from the FDA. Remember the question about replacing control groups? This is the answer: synthetic control arms. Companies can now build a virtual placebo group from curated real-world data. Traditional trials often miss the full diversity of patients. Real-world evidence captures data from these groups, helping develop interventions grounded in reality. We've seen real-world evidence's power in later-stage development. But what if its biggest value is actually at the very beginning? The most common strategic mistake is thinking real-world evidence is a post-approval tool. The smart move is to integrate it from day one of the development life cycle. In early discovery, real-world evidence helps reduce risk by revealing disease mechanisms, patient characteristics, and genomic insights that can validate a target. Used early, real-world evidence maps care patterns, quantifies unmet needs, and defines the disease burden, shaping the entire market access and payer negotiation strategy. So how does this all fit together? From early discovery to regulatory approval, real-world evidence forms a continuous feedback loop. The early insights used for target validation directly inform the patient criteria you model for your trial protocol. Science aligned with a viable population from the start. By capturing data from diverse real-world populations, you build a case that regulators find compelling. This is exactly what enabled the Ibrance approval. Real-world evidence is therefore not a series of tactics. It's a strategic intelligence engine connecting the lab, the clinic, and the patient into a single data-rich ecosystem. This is already a paradigm shift, but where is it headed next? The future is continuous and real-time. Wearables and digital health tech are generating novel endpoints that measure patient function in daily life for a richer picture. Layer on top of this the power of AI and machine learning. These technologies can analyze vast, unstructured real-world data, uncovering patterns impossible for humans to find. We began by stating that ignoring real-world evidence leads to a 2.3 times higher risk of costly amendments. We now see that adopting it creates a decisive competitive advantage. In today's biotech landscape, the companies that win will be those who see the real world not as a challenge to control, but as their greatest source of evidence. The question is no longer whether biotech leaders should adopt real-world evidence, but how deeply they can integrate it across the development pipeline. Act now.